I really wanted to talk with you guys here because we're in Israel, and you're at Toronto, and I'm at Edmonton, and I think
Canadians are taking over Israel.
yeah, it does. It feels like there's this big influx of us. I was actually saying I've had 5 meetings with Canadians yesterday.
Wow.
So I thought, hey,
well, we're a research-focused country, and Israel's a research-focused country, and obviously they're the leaders in research, and we're trying to catch up ourselves. But there's a lot of collaboration between our countries, and there always has been. There's a lot of technology transfer between our countries, and you know, some of the early strains in the licensed producer program came from Tikkun Olam here into Medreleaf.
Into Canada.
Canada.
So into Medreleaf, some of the original Canadian strains.
Some of the original Canadian.
Yeah.
Well, they're not Canadian strains. But some of the original strains being sold by Canadian producers.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
So give me a quick high level, Drew, yourself in strain print, and Noah, you in strain print, and then we'll go from there.
I'm Andrew Miroff. I'm the CEO of Strainprint. I co-founded the company with 3 other partners, friends of mine. We're all patients. We developed the company as patients, for patients, to try to figure out what strains work best for us as patients. We created an app to do that. It's a medical outcomes tracker. It has a scientific foundation to it. It's not Yelp-like reviews.
Yeah.
And we've been very fortunate to have gathered the largest observational data set on strain efficacy in the world. And we're tracking pre- and post-symptomatic state against route of administration, against the full chemical profile as we pre-populate the app with all the strains and products from the medical cannabis program in Canada.
Amazing.
And today we are almost 30 people. We're hiring rapidly. Noah runs our sales force, and we're here to build relationships with the Israelis on a research level, but also to sell our data. So we monetize our data through a web analytics platform. And I'm also excited to announce today, October 16th, we are launching the Strainprint community.
Oh, amazing! This is a social media, it's your social media offering essentially within your app.
Yeah, fully integrated in with the whole platform, so it's fully compliant, HIPAA compliant. It's tied in with our loyalty program.
Can you say that multiple times very fast?
I can't. but Dave Berg
can you?
Dave Berg can
I could do it. Multiple elevator pitches.
But anyway, today's an exciting day. So
wow, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's amazing.
You know, neither of us can actually take any credit for Strainprint community. We have a team that's worked really hard on getting together.
Yeah, you guys are running around at conferences.
Yeah. We get to do the hard work.
Well, the
easy work.
Well, the crew's back in Toronto getting the work done.
No. This has been a very trying trip.
Yeah.
Walks on the beach and
great food.
No, it's been actually a lot of work and a lot of excitement. Exciting conversations have come out of this. Meeting with powerhouses in cannabis research globally. Forget located here. I mean, Israel really started all of the work that everyone in medical cannabis is doing today. None of us would be none of us would be employed in the way we are and have the opportunity to help people in the way that we do if it wasn't for
Dr. Meshulam, right?
And Meshulam, Dr.
Lumir
Hannes, a whole bunch of those.
Yeah, this is really the fertile breeding ground for all of the cannabis space, and we couldn't be more excited to be here.
And you guys, this has been an eye-opener for me, for sure. I mean, this is my first time in this region. Israel, always, although being in the indoor egg space myself, I've always laser beamed on the Israeli egg tech world, from the outside looking in, a Google expert essentially, right? So coming here,
isn't that a degree now?
That's a PhD. Yeah. I think it's a 4-year PhD. Oh, yeah, sorry, the Google version. So I mean, even just coming here, and even knowing that this is the birthplace of what I believe is the modern medical cannabis industry. Yeah, it really settled in. When to see Dr. Meshulam up there speaking and talking about the beginning. Yeah, it really
But
made
the
it
other
real.
thing it shows you is this is a small country, right?
Yeah.
And all this research that you hear about and everybody references throughout the world, it really is coming from a tiny little spot. Most of it's being done together within 20 miles of each other.
Yeah, yeah, like all the professors in their mutual fields, they all, I feel like, you know, they're all walking around high-fiving, and but they're all in their own fields, right?
We went for meetings in Hebrew U, up to meeting in Jerusalem, up to meetings in Haifa around Caesarea, to the Technion, and the space in between we're meeting, and they're exactly right.
It's like cannabis studies happening everywhere in the country, in all the different places, and lots of grant money is coming in to continue to focus on it. I mean, as we're talking about, every Canadian is here. Tons of Americans are here.
Yeah.
People from all over the world are coming here to understand what kind of science is being done or can be done, and working together with the industry.
And you guys have a personal connection to Israel as well, right?
Lived here for a few years. Israel is a very special place for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's the food.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the food. What did we eat last night? What was that? Sabih.
Yeah.
And what was that? It was delicious. It was the messiest thing I've ever eaten in my life. I went through I went through 40 napkins. It was like bite, napkin, bite.
Sabih, it basically is a little bit of Israeli salad and hummus and tchina, as you would put on any street food here, and then deep fried eggplant put on, eggs. Hard-boiled eggs that they mash in, whole bunch of spices. It's an Iranian dish originally, or Iraqi, or something like that. It's an import. But
they made it their own. They made it their own.
And I had a shawarma.
It's like the donair in Canada, right? It's like the donair in Canada, right? We kind of took that and
now. I'm just having an idea. Maybe we should announce our collaboration to make cannabis-infused sabich. That's coming next. Coming to a store near you.
So you can order it on the Strain Print app, and hopefully Stewart Farms Cannabis will be in it, but we have to export it over here.
That's right. No edibles yet in Canada for a while.
Yeah, that's right.
They can do infused sabich over here.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I mean, the culture here is amazing, and the thing that really... I don't know if you guys were upset about this, but when I looked at the weather, you know, the weather never changed. You know, it was 27 degrees every day.
Don't publish this part. Everyone back home is going to get mad at us. It's 8 degrees in Toronto.
There's snow in Edmonton. I'm telling people here that we got snow. They can't even believe it.
Are you going back to Edmonton, or are you going to the East Coast?
I'm going to Poland on my way home, and then I stop there for a business meeting, and then I go back to Edmonton. Yeah, so it'll be a long flight, but you know, I'm pretty well between New Brunswick and Edmonton primarily, and then of course coming to visit you guys in Toronto whenever I can.
So let's turn this question around.
I have a question too. If you're turning around, go ahead, and then I'll follow.
Tell us, as an up-and-coming LP, how the role that data might play, and why you are here speaking to us.
Wow, that was so...
Well, sales plug innuendo. Well, yeah, I mean, for me, I have a two-pronged strategy, to be completely honest, about choosing our strains. So as an incoming LP, one of the most important things for me is ensuring that when we choose what we're going to grow to medically support patients, like I am and you are, and a lot of the Strain Print team, is that we pick the right ones. You know, that we pick the most effective strains. So when we speak about Strain Print, you know, for me, it's a phenomenal tool to really get an aggregated view of what's working for who in Canada. I mean, that's the thing, you know, when we met in Toronto. So for me, that's incredibly valuable knowledge to start with, and then why am I here in Israel? Well, maybe not dissimilar to part of your own mission here, but it's to back up your aggregated data and the high level of what's working with the foundational research and potentially some strains over here as well. So that's kind of my combined mission.
So if I can summarize, Strain Print is the most important tool in your tool belt coming up. Is that what I can take from that?
Absolutely. Well, I mean,
all right, this interview's done. Great.
Hey, wait! I'm supposed to ask you questions. This turned around here. This is the first one. That's why this happened. Well, no, it's immensely important. And the other thing, I'm using Strain Print for myself and tracking my own results. And
have you noticed anything interesting from tracking personal learning?
At the baseline, it's really made me pay attention, right? So at the fundamentalness of it is opening up the app and thinking, how do I feel?
Being mindful about the medication.
Rating, if it's anxiety or focus. A lot of the times I'm actually trying to treat myself for focus recently. And
microdosing.
What is my restlessness? How restless am I? And it's to take you through that mental process and actually being mindful of it.
I think the mindfulness is one of the most important things.
Absolutely.
People figure out very quickly. It's really taking the time to say, how bad is my pain really at the beginning? How much help did I really get from that medication session? And can I do it differently next time so that I'll make it better?
Yeah.
So that's what we're finding is the mindfulness of the whole process. Because you pop an Advil after you bang your arm on something. You pop the Advil, you're gone. You go and you do your business. You don't bother to think about did it work, did it not work.
Yeah.
You'll know at the end of the day if it worked, if it didn't work, because you feel crummy or you'll feel good. But you didn't really think about how could I do that better.
But you're not presented with 15 types of Advil that may or may not work for you, and that's part of the problem.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's going to be so crucial. And obviously the future of cannabis healthcare is customizing that personal experience and that personal package, and without the utility to get that feedback, to the grower, and that's what I'm looking forward to in the long term as well, is having that direct, live, real-time channel to our patients, right? And us monitoring with the Strain Print tool, us being able to see if what we recommended to them or if what we gave them is actually working. And I think and then it enables a follow-up. Yeah, it'll enable that engagement.
And the successful people, the people who are using our data to the most success are the ones who are actually building into their clinic workflows or their treatment workflows where they're monitoring the patient. So they can see the actual patient use in real time, and they can know two things. Are my patients following my recommendations? Are my recommendations working?
Yeah.
And if the recommendations are sort of tapering off, then you can get in touch. You don't have to wait till the next visit on the 3-month window.
Yeah.
You can get in touch with them after a week, or have a triage nurse or whoever is supporting you in your team. Have them get in touch with the patient right away and modify the treatment so that it actually becomes more beneficial. So you can, if the ones who are being the most successful, the ones who are building that into their practice workflow.
And I also think that it's very important data for you to know, even if maybe someone isn't coming directly to you about their treatment, that you're engaging on the one-to-one. We're aggregating anonymously all the data about about the strains in Canada as well. So if there is a change, or if there is an indication that it works well for, and actually, personally, I'm really interested in all the areas where it doesn't work well. I think it's going to be important to the industry long term to know when it's inappropriate. If we know that for chronic depression, long-term use of cannabis is not going to be helpful, we need to know that cannabis isn't going to be all things for all people. It's going to be many things to many people, and it's our job to find out what it is, and then it's your job to leverage that information and then responsibly apply it out there in the market. And I think that's equally as important to the rest of the work that we're doing.
So Noel, what does cannabis mean to you? What does cannabis mean to you, and what does this endeavor in Strain Print mean to you?
So this is more than a business, although I want to talk for a moment about the business side of it for me. I'm a tech sales guy. I grew up in startups. I cut my teeth selling software in Israel, and then I moved to Salesforce and startups after that. I've helped a lot of people make a lot of money. Sorry, I'm hitting the table.
You're probably banging.
Yeah,
making noise
I've done
in the
that a
mic
few
right
times.
now.
Sorry. I've made a lot of money. I made a lot of money for a lot of people. Now I'm going to be doing that as well. But
congratulations.
but
What do you say?
in a very real sense, we're helping people every day. The stories that we get on social media direct to us about the life-changing effects of medical cannabis, when it's taking people from canna naive to making their own oils at home, understanding how this is working for them, how they can take as least cannabis as possible to achieve as much effect as possible. It's a double. I can't say enough for how that makes me feel excited every morning to wake up and come in to the office. And really, that's not something I've gotten to experience in helping companies grow their companies larger.
Yeah, it's a totally different. It's not software. It's not a it is software, right?
It's personalized health.
But yeah, exactly. Your software is leading to a tangible thing that these patients are using versus your past career where you're like selling software and it's like an office function.
Yeah,
right. It's an office function or what. It's not like a medical endeavor.
The result of it is not giving you less paper and more pens. The result is giving you a better, healthier day to day.
Yeah.
And there was data presented data generated at this event even that's based on our data. We are helping drive the real science of cannabis.
Researchers are coming to strain.
Israeli researchers are using our data right now to do their own analysis of reformulation.
Because that's amazing because it's giving them a really great aggregated overview. This is why
they have their own data.
Yeah.
They want to validate it against the larger set, which we have.
They get to pick their strain. They can pick their strains.
They can identify the formulation.
Yeah, they're unique, fingerprinted strains. So, and I do love the logo, by the way. Great swag. This company has the best swag. Really. So, what does cannabis mean?
Stephanie.
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie. What does cannabis mean to you, Drew? What's your story?
Well, cannabis has helped me through a number of medical conditions over my years. I use it for arthritis in my knees from surgeries in my knees. I used it when I had a major concussion a couple of years ago, and CBD helped me through the brain recovery process, which was a year.
Wow.
So, it's meaningful to me. It's meaningful to dozens of people in my life who have gotten themselves off of traditional medications. My wife, who's found her way into it and off of addicted sleeping pills. So,
a lot of people have that.
So many people in my life who have found ways to use minute instances of cannabis to get rid of 3 or 4 different pills that they might have been taking. So you think about the social implications of that and the social cost of that. So if insurers can pay less for treating in a less invasive way, and the cost of insurance can go down, and then the cost of social services and the cost of the medical system to the Canadian government, at least for our purposes in Canada, all those things can be helped by this. It's the greatest thing in the world for everybody. Everybody's winning from it, right? And it's not about getting stoned. Sure, people want to get stoned sometimes.
Because that's easy.
That's the easy part.
Getting stoned is easy.
That's not life-changing.
No.
Finding the strain that can help you when you have fibromyalgia, you can now open your fingers for the first time in 3 years, which we've heard many times on our platform. That's what this is all about for me.
And from hearing other much smarter people than I speak, the global benefit is something you said, ties something you said around the lowering the cost of insurance. So,
it's going to lower.
Polypharma's ability to take, if somebody is on medication for their knees and they can't sleep, and they're on 2 different medications that have interactions with each other, causing 1 or 2 other symptoms that are medicated with pharmacological medication, and we can find a strain that happens to have high properties that will help them sleep and also pain relief. There's one product that maybe they're taking, a couple of milligrams of cannabinoids altogether in a day, cutting out medications that are going to be bad for multiple organs and pocketbooks as well. So what an opportunity for in Canada, where our tax dollars are paying for so much of this, what might end up being wasteful medications, because we can solve those challenges with cannabis.
And I
and
think
where we can't, we want to know that as well.
And one thing I've learned, which has absolutely blown my mind, and I don't want to give an exact percentage because I'd have to verify this, but the efficacy or the effectiveness of most drugs is the percent of effectiveness is far lower than the general population would like to think, to allow a prescription drug to actually get on the market, and the side effects are immense a lot of times in various different opioid drugs or what have you, and we don't have that issue with cannabis.
And we're not really tracking it.
No, we're not. Nobody's talking about. We're not having that. You're right.
Nobody, and probably nobody will, right? Like, I mean, people are tracking this because, for two reasons. Number one, because the product mix is so diverse right now. We kind of narrow down as we're talking about, but also just because cannabis patients seem to care.
Yeah.
For two reasons. They seem to care about finding what's working best for them, but sharing that to everybody else, to all their friends, and saying, hey, this worked for me. Why don't you try it for you?
Yeah.
And by the way, that's what Strain Print Community is all about. It's about creating a place where people with have a condition can go and talk to others in a safe and secure place.
Forming around sleep, around anxiety, around depression.
I want to talk to somebody else who's a 45-year-old mother of three who's dealing with anxiety.
What's working for you?
What's working for you?
That's amazing. So what do you see in the future of Strain Print? Right. So the community is launched today. I'm so happy we're here in Israel to celebrate together.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about it. But that's obviously a big one, and that will drive a whole other set of, from our perspective, a whole other set of data that we can overlay against this to help create a better picture for patients. But also we'll start to explore where our scientific data can help to support the recreational market. We're looking at things like meter dosing. We're looking at personal DNA. So all these things will flesh out the whole picture. Full wellness picture, tying in with Apple's Health Kit and being able to track energy levels and heart rate and movement. So if somebody says, for instance, that I'm medicated with this particular chemotype and it made me energetic, and yet their health kit shows that they sat on the couch and went to sleep for 2 hours. That's not an accurate indication of what happened, but at least we can track it all now and see where the inconsistencies are.
And I'd see there being a massive opportunity from a ethnic understanding of medicine to see if that makes a difference. Does different DNA make a difference to how well your endocannabinoid will be receptive to some of these things? We know that there are groupings of people who have diseases that other ethnicities do not.
Yeah.
Jews get tested for Tay-Sachs before having a kid. It exists only in this population. Sickle cell anemia only exists in certain communities. Certain indications, one ethnicity will receive a different medication because it will be more efficacious than what is used in another population. So maybe it's the case that a particular chemovar, and let's simplify things and go to strain names. Maybe it's, which we know don't actually apply to the ability to understand what something's going to do to you. Let's move on. Let's say a white widow is going to help with pain for one person. Maybe it'll cause anxiety and not pain relief in another, based on biology. We would love to know that.
Yeah, amazing.
And I think that's a important, exciting.
Well, I am super excited to work with you guys as a cultivator.
Thank you for bringing us into this interview and for doing this interview, and it's been great to spend time with you here and talk more. And, we're excited to work with you and grateful for you choosing us to provide your data.
Is this a new customer announcement?
Well,
don't we have to do press releases?
You will. Sorry, we'll do press releases.
When it's ready, but we're grateful for the support.
You will be able to
non-disclosure agreement with everyone watching this.
You will be able to download a version of Strain Print off the Stewart Farms website in the near, not too distant future. So that is a fact. So, all right, thanks guys.
Okay,
appreciate it.
Very much.